Wow, quick bans out already. Batrider gone for Team Empire, Undying gone for We Has Asian.
Yeah, I feel as though Batrider is a hero that's pretty much never going to make it through. He's just so strong in every phase of the game. You can offlane him, you can put him mid. He dominates a lot of heroes. That's one of the strengths of him. You have good mid-game presence. He's an initiator. You can get inside of a team fight, pull somebody out of position, do a tremendous amount of damage in the process. And it looks like We As Asian is going to go ahead and answer by banning out Jakiro. Now, this leaves them in an interesting situation. Empire is a team who is known for running Wisp, and they do have first pick, or excuse me, they don't have first pick, but they do have second pick, which means that if We Has Asian wants to take the Wisp first, then there's going to be an immediate reaction coming out from Empire, and they're going to have things like Magnus and Sven available if they want to take it. Empire is known to run that in the past. So if you take a Wisp, you're still getting two heroes taken away that not only partner well with the hero, but they also are amazing at counter initiation. So we'll see what We Has Asian want to actually take as their first pick, but still waiting on one last ban from Empire.
All right, yeah, and it is actually going to be Magnus. And that hero just coming in just full force in the tournaments lately. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for Mouse Sports, and it's going to be a Darkseer first pick for We Has Asian.
I feel like Darkseer is a hero that's just too strong to let through. He's kind of like Batrider in that sense. He's strong throughout the entire game. Great offlaner. He can get so much more done than other heroes can in that position. Now it's up to Empire. Wisp is available. Funnick is definitely known for playing that. But last game we saw them play, they ran a very standard lineup of their heroes. They gave Funnick the Clinks. You had Sox, who is being a standard right now, playing on a Tinker. They gave him a lot of notable heroes that they're known for playing. I'm curious to see if Empire is going to take the game as seriously as they did last game, because that was obviously vying for one of the first place spots, as is this one, but now they guarantee get through the group regardless, so I want to see how serious they're taking, and they're taking a Wisp, so that means that Empire is going to be on their A game.
Yeah, you call the Wisp going to be a pick if Empire can get hold of it, and they do, and they also accompany that with the TA. And even earlier when I was off screen with Toby, he did mention that, you know, the lineup that they picked against Mouse Sports Team Empire. He was like, well, this is going to be over in potentially 20 minutes because they're just giving him so many signature heroes. And once again, so we'll see how Team Empire run with their picks. And so far, they're looking really good in this tournament. And We Has Asian obviously going to be the underdogs of the match, but certainly we will get some surprises throughout Dreamhack. I think maybe Mouse Sports are already one of them, going out a little bit early. And we're going to have Leshrac and Sven.
Definitely the start of a tri-lane. Looks like Empire is going to go ahead and answer with their patented Chaos Knight, and Sox is definitely probably going to be playing on that hero. You have Templar Assassin already for mid, so now you're in this position where the lanes are already coming together for Empire. It's pretty safe to say that the Wisp and the CK are probably going to be in the safe lane. There's no way the Templar Assassin wants a safe lane on the chance that Darkseer is going to be there. Ion Shell is just too good. Eats through your refraction. But looking at We As Asian, they have their own tri-lane of their own forming, and this is a Leshrac Sven +1 for sure. Not really sure yet if We As Asian wants to go the route of picking up a jungler like an Enigma. A lot of people seem to be gravitating towards that hero for this tournament because it gives you an alternative method of disable through a BKB. And since Magnus is banned out and Batrider is banned out, those are two of the signature heroes that a lot of people would use to counter BKBs inside of team fights. If you look at the lineup right now of We Has Asian, they actually have significantly less physical damage output right now than Team Empire does, especially once the TA and the CK both get their BKBs. Walking into a team fight, even into a God Strength Sven, you're not going to feel that threatened if you're TA because Sven has no way to eat through the refraction in itself, especially with the BKB on, because you're not going to take the Ion Shell damage, and you have to really worry about how much sustainability you're going to have in those fights.
Okay, so more bans coming out, and yeah, I was thinking, you know, when you said they're going for tri-lane, I was thinking, well, I'm probably going to go for something like a Bounty Hunter on the offlane, just to see if they can get the levels, and actually Bounty Hunter already banned out there. Broodmother replied as a ban for Team Empire, and we're back to We Has Asian, and they're going to take away the Windrunner.
Yeah, I like the fact that they banned out Brood, especially if you're Empire. If you look at their lineup right now, they have absolutely zero counter push. They have a CK, a TA, and a Wisp, which means that if they put a Brood even against their supposed tri-lane that they're going to be forming, he's still going to be able to get experience. He's still going to be able to apply some pressure, especially once the Wisp and the CK start moving around the map. You have to expect it once they get level 6. You're going to start teleporting and looking for kills. Heroes like Leshrac are definitely going to be a target. Sven's a little tankier, so it's a higher risk, but it really depends on what they want to put in their offlane right now, because Empire hasn't yet picked their offlane hero. Their tri-lane isn't complete yet, so we're not sure if they're going to pick a hero that's just going to sit back and try to find his farm, or if it's going to be somebody a little more aggressive. And at this point, Empire is looking a little bit weak on options. Like you said, the BH and the Windrunner both banned out. There's not really a whole lot of options left in an offlaner.
Well, we'll see last ban coming in, and we've got into reserve time here for Empire, so they're actually going to just take out the Void. What do you make of that decision?
Taking out the Void in this scenario is a little bit strange. I mean, it's possible that the Sven could have gone into a support role. Navi actually did that the other day. They ran Arzart on a support Sven, so it's not like it's completely out of the picture. And Void is also very good against heroes who rush those BKBs. We saw it earlier today, actually. We has Asian versus Mouse. And the Void in the late game, it's just too hard to live through his ultimate. It gets to be too much of a duration. You get to a point where you die basically inside of it, and there's no counter. Especially even against a Rubik, if you steal the spell, the Void is still able to do all of his damage inside of the sphere. If your heroes get caught out, the high priority targets like a Sven if he was carrying or something like that, and you add another one to the tri-lane, anybody who gets caught out that's high priority is just dead to rights, especially once the Void gets his BKB. So it's just a measure to say we want our CK and our TA both to be able to run rampant inside of these team fights, and I think it's a really, really great ban in their favor.
All right, well, it's taken out, and also Queen of Pain is going to be the last ban there as we move back into the picks, and Queen of Pain removed.
Queen of Pain is one of the mids that's actually...
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you, Drasko.
It's okay.
I thought we were friends. I know. It's a horrible thing. As you were saying.
Yeah, I was just going to point out the fact that the Queen of Pain is one of the few heroes left in the pool who can actually contend with a Templar Assassin middle lane. I mean, you can see the Bat Rider's already banned out, Jakira was banned out, Denny did that yesterday against the TA to varying success. It wasn't really one-sided or anything. He actually got ganked a few times, so it didn't work out. But Queen of Pain can still Shadow Strike, eat through Refract, be annoying to a Templar Assassin because at lower level, you're going to get Refract at level 1, which means Shadow Strike's going to be coming out, right-click harassment. You can bully a TA relatively effectively until about 3 to 5. That's when the TA starts to get enough base damage with Refract to just walk into you and trade. And Empire is going with their offlaner now. It looks like it's going to be Nature's Prophet. So instead of trying to pick something that's going to play aggressive, they're just going to give themselves a little bit more map presence. And we're talking about potentially 3 heroes who can be anywhere on the map at any given time to gank.
And we'll have to see how we as Asian are going to be able to handle with Wisp and whoever's going to be accompanying him, as well as Nature's Prophet. But we'll see if that's going to be the case and if they're opening it up nicely. And Disruptor was obviously picked out a little bit just a moment ago. Does that complete the tri-lane for you? Is that what you see there, the Shrek, Span, and Disruptor?
Yeah, it could be a Disruptor in the tri-lane for sure. It could also be a Disruptor mid. Some teams have been known to run it. Crit actually is the one I think who plays it the most out of anyone on the team. So if it's going to be mid, it's still going to be relatively strong. Static Storm inside of a kinetic field, since it's damage over time, and you also have Thunder Strike as well. He's also very good at eating through Refraction. Also have to keep in mind that when you have a Wisp on the other team, you can actually glimpse one or the other back to the location that they originally teleported in from as soon as they come in. And since you can see it on the minimap before it comes your way, you can actually know it's coming, send whoever you want back, whether it be the Wisp, whether it be the CK, and you can just kill whoever is left because the Wisp is not going to be able to get back in time to retether and bring him back to you where you were. So it's a very good countermeasure to Wisp, and it looks like we as Asian kind of did their homework since they knew that the Wisp was going to be coming. They managed to pick their high priority heroes first in the Darkseer, Leshrac, and Sven, kind of figuring that just Disruptor wouldn't be seen as that high priority, so they're able to take it in the second ban phase. And honestly, I got to give a little bit of credit here to We as Asian. I like their draft quite a bit against what Empire has.
All right, and of course, yeah, a big task for that Disruptor to be on his game with those glimpses. And also, just like to point out, just you know, shout out to Statman Bruno. A lot of the We Have Asian heroes are blue. I mean, Dark's is a little bit purple, but you know, we'll let him off on that one.
They're all in the same hue. I think I could let it slide.
Yeah. Statman Bruno, if you're watching.
Oh, and another blue hero.
Boom, Statman Bruno.
Full blue.
Just happened. And Night Stalker as the last pick. Where do you see him filling into this role? Is it, you know, mid? I would assume, but is that just crazy?
It's interchangeable. I mean, it depends on if they want the Sven to carry or not. I assume that they do, because Sven's actually quite good against CK, especially if he gets the farm that he needs. Warcry is great. 16 armor against CK, all he does is physical damage. Once you get Phantasm into the later game, you just rely on being able to beat people down with nothing but pure DPS output, and Sven is a great counter to that. He not only gives 16 armor to himself, but his whole team. So I'm figuring they're going to want him to farm, which means for sure Disruptor and Leshrac going to be supporting, Darkseer offlane, and potentially a Night Stalker mid. And the thing about Night Stalker is, he's a hero who doesn't really have to win his lane to have a successful first night, because you get the levels, that's the most important part. You get one rank into your silence, you get your void up, and you just run all over the map, try to roam. And the thing is, their team is so good at punishing bad teleports from the Wisp. They're really going to have to be on their game, Empire and Funnick especially, getting into fights in places where they're not just going to get completely turned on, because we're talking about Stormhammer, Split Earth, you can get silenced, you can get caught in a static storm, one of you gets glimpsed back, Vacuum and Ion Shell. It's a really scary team to teleport into.
Yep. So I was just thinking of saying something like, insert more ability names here on my behalf.
Well, actually, if you drag your mouse over the abilities, you can just read them.
No. That's cheating.
How's that cheating?
It's cheating.
All right, well, apparently that's cheating, so...
I'm learning the hard way here, Draskell, which is by looking fantastic. As the last pick comes in, we're in reserve time as well. There's no reserve time, sorry. So the last pick is actually going to be Keeper of the Light for Team Empire. And we get these guys in game, and I'll be sure to butcher all their names. Unfortunately, there's no J-Ho here.
I'm just going to let you call him that from now on. I might even switch to J-Ho.
That is his name. That is, yeah. He should switch it. It's way more promotable. So, yeah, we'll see how the lanes shape up. But, of course, this is playing Team Empire versus We Has Asian for first place in the group. The winner of this will go through in first. And then also later today, we'll be having the quarterfinals. So you really want to come out with a strong finish, because from the quarterfinals, you can still finish your Dreamhack run here today. And then, of course, we'll be tomorrow moving on to like semis, grand finals, and all the other fun stuff like awkward prize ceremonies. Everyone looks forward to those.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the later games. I mean, tomorrow we're not going to have a bad match. Like every single game tomorrow, especially even later today, once you get to the quarterfinals, they're all going to be great games. This one's going to be pretty good too. I really, really do like We As Asian's draft. The one thing they have to be kind of wary about is just the map presence that Empire is going to have, because the Wisp, of course, is going to be able to teleport anyone across the map. It's most likely going to be the CK. That's a pretty common pairing. But then you have Goblak playing on the Keeper of the Light, who, if somebody gets in trouble, you juke long enough, you can get pulled right back. Even if they manage to glimpse one, I would expect to see some kind of a clutch escape eventually, and plus, since it's going to be a tri-lane, you have an infinite mana keeper, just giving people more and more mana to keep pushing the lane. Once you get a couple of levels, you can try to get the tier 1 and just try to assume map dominance. That's what this team is for, and since they have a Nature's Prophet, they can also bring him to the top lane to push, pull anyone wherever they want. The mobility on this team is absolutely amazing. Like, Empire can be all over the map.
And how do you think We Has Asian chance is going to be versus Empire?
Well, in terms of overall team fight, I got to give a slight edge to We Has Asian, but that's assuming their coordination is on point. I mean, you have Static Storm. It's a great disable until you get a BKB. Inside of that, most of their heroes essentially do nothing. I mean, they have a Templar Assassin's not going to be able to use your meld, not going to be able to refract, get out of bad situations. You have good stun follow-up. You actually have a Stormhammer and Split Earth coming out from the Sven and the Leshrac. You have silences. They have a lot of methods of dealing with the TA, especially in the team fights and the CK as well. So they can focus one, silence the other, and just try to train them down inside of their ultimates. And I don't know, honestly, if Empire ever wants to take a 5-on-5 team fight against We Has Asian roster. I think it's going to be more trying to pull them apart, make them waste a lot of time running around the map, abuse your mobility as high or as well as you can, and just try to get a little bit of a gold lead, experience lead, catch them out of position, and try to take map control that way. It looks like we're going to have a pause out as well. We are waiting for someone. I'm not really sure who it is. And I think the pause was actually by Empire, so hopefully Empire has all their stuff under control. But it's going to be a little bit of delay. Apologize for that. Just looking forward to the game, James.
Yeah, me too. And of course, we'll see how this one pans out. And yeah, Empire hopefully getting back in just a little bit as we sit up here and wait. How's it going? What are you laughing at? Oh, okay. Oh, Gods has joined us just for a moment.
Apparently something very, very funny has happened, and we are not keen to it because we've actually been focusing on the game. And
yeah, exactly.
I
am focused. And I don't know what these childish...
Apparently they're laughing at you.
Oh, it's not what I've done again. Have I pronounced someone's name wrong?
I don't know, honestly. Sometimes I drift in and out. Even when we cast together,
yeah.
I can't be asked to listen 100% of the time, so when you talk,
hey,
it just kind of goes out.
I don't listen to what I say either. I mean, that's actually the secret to being a commentator. Otherwise, you just listen to feedback and you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Toby, how's it going?
He was a twit, he reported a player.
Oh, okay, that's what he was doing. You know, his monitor is right here, and I actually didn't even look at it.
Toby, get off the stage. Jesus, Toby. All right. I'm ready.
I'm ready
I'm
to go.
pumped for this game. Look at me. I'm like, I've got energy.
Now, what happens if the player you reported randomly just got to that point where they actually take action and Valve just disconnects him from the game and he can't play anymore? Goes in a low priority queue.
Hey, you should watch what he does on my stream.
All right, then. Looks like the game's going to get unpaused. Empire versus We Has Asian for the first place slot.
Yeah, and I'm going to butcher some people's names now, so I do apologize to all the teams involved. Why is everybody got Love Tommy? That guy's called Tommy, and that guy is kind of called Tommy. This guy's also Tommy. What the Right, Team Tommy are currently making their way into the jungle. This is they've made it easier for me to cast. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this. And so far they're just going to be holding their own. So we'll see how the lanes kind of shape up already. Empire, you've got the Chaos Knight, played by T2, and also Funnick on the Wisp, just heading to top as we talked about earlier, and they're going to be joined by Keeper of the Light for now. And looking to go mid is going to be Scandal on the TA, and Empire's SS playing Nature's Prophet looking to go off lane.
Yeah, no real surprise from either team so far in terms of how the way the lanes are shaping up. It's to be expected that you're going to be tri-laning the CK in this game, and it's pretty much to be expected that you're going to be tri-laning the Sven. That just has become a flavor of the month style. And since it is Unicorn playing on the Sven, it's definitely going to be a full carry role. And Night Stalker is actually still sitting here looking like they're going to abuse the mid pull against the TA especially. And that might be one of the reasons why they allowed Scandal to get one of his more notable heroes, is just because of how hard it is to overcome that mid pull. It's a double pull. You can get the small camp and the big camp, and you deny experience from a TA who is very reliant on it during the early game. So we'll have to see how this middle lane works out. In terms of Night Stalker versus TA, the TA definitely wins that matchup, but Night Stalker has very, very good strength gain. He's going to get a fast bottle, I would assume, but he's actually started himself off with a Quelling Blade, and it looks like RMC might be joining him for the first few waves.
Yeah, we have to see how this works out, if the Shrek is going to stay around. I'm not sure if they know about the ward on the high ground there, just off to the left of him. It does maybe seem that they do. We'll have to see if that's going to get dewarded in just a moment. And of course, there is a lane ward for Empire on their safe lane. And that ward, yep, won't actually be dewarded. They're just both going to have an observer ward up here.
Yeah, a little bit surprising he actually didn't go up there and drop a sentry. He has two at the moment. He's looking to probably stack the small camp before he pulls for the first time, so RMC trying to maximize the efficiency of this middle lane. But again, Night Stalker versus TA. Night Stalker doesn't have to win this lane. He's still going to be able to roam during the first night. He's going to get the experience that he needs. It's not like he's going to be completely zoned out by Scandal, especially considering Scandal is only level 1 and is going to be suffering here quite a bit because of the pulls that are soon to come.
And how do you like the kind of lanes? I mean, you kind of predicted what they were before even going into the game, but how are they working out for you? The only one that we really haven't seen kind of join the lane is obviously the Shrek, who's is going to be pulling the easy camp here. Small camp, sorry.
Well, when you're on Radiant side, it's very easy to make this decision. You can say, if there's something down in our bottom lane that we feel we have to commit to stop, then we can just bring the Leshrac there, and we're no worse for wear. Our Night Stalker might do a little bit worse in the middle lane, but ultimately the TA is going to find her farm one way or another, especially during the mid game. So with that being said, you can send your Leshrac to the jungle to get that pull done, and instead of committing 3 heroes and getting less experience, you're getting this basically the same amount of experience that you would be in the tri lane anyway, and you're denying experience away from the middle lane player. So looks like We As Asian has actually thought this through quite thoroughly, and they're willing to let some of the more popular heroes that Empire likes to run through, and they're feeling confident in it. So if they're confident, then looking forward to the game.
Yeah, and one thing that has actually done by not being so aggressive, though, on the safe lane for We Has Asian, also known as Team Tommy, is of course the Furion is able to pick up a decent amount of farm. Just he feels a bit safe currently in the bottom lane, and he's fine with that.
Well, there's no real stun follow-up here. Even if he gets Storm Bolted, he can pretty much just walk away. His base move speed isn't amazing. We're actually seeing a little bit of bottle sharing going on down here at the bottom rune spot. Looks like 2 ticks given to the Nature's Prophet to allow himself to continue spawning those trees, just be annoying, try to steal some creeps. Looks like we're going to see some fighting over a Centaur here, and a Thunderstrike comes out from Hip Hop Not Pop, so he's going to get the kill. But still, being able to stand in this position is just completely attributed to the fact that they aren't actually tri-laning. It's just basically a dual lane mid and a dual lane bottom.
Yeah, and currently Sven sitting on 13 and 8 for We Has Asian, all the way down on the bottom lane, so he's very comfortable down here. Even going to put some pressure onto the Fury in just one swipe to remind him that his sword is very, very big, which is an important thing to remind a Nature's Prophet, because he's just got a staff, and that's pretty stupid. Who fights with a staff? As the first stun comes out, and it's going to be followed up by the Disruptor, and unfortunately no Leshrac to get in here, but they are going to send him all the way back to the base, but he will be able to TP back in, so just making the lane a little bit easier. But also mid, we really have to take point of the Night Stalker for We Has Asian as well. It's currently 13 and 1. The TA has managed to get himself 6 denies, but currently only 10 last hits.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange to see Crit is actually doing so well in this scenario. Scandal actually went for the rune in the first place, so that's probably why he's pulled ahead in terms of the CS department for the time being. But the more farm he gets before the first night, the better. We talked about how he doesn't necessarily need it so much, but it's not going to hurt him, that's for sure. So if he's able to continue to get the CS like he is, he already has his bottle finished. He might even start crowing it just so he can start spamming his Void for last hits, which he's already been doing to a certain extent. But 73 base damage on this Night Stalker with a Quelling Blade, it is very, very easy to secure yourself last hits. And look at Scandal right now. He's level 3 comparison to Night Stalker level 5. That is mid lane pulling.
Yeah, and so that Leshrac actually just pulling the safe lane has been working out fantastically. Furion comes back in, Nature's Prophet, sorry, also level 3 at the bottom. Still got to be pretty careful here. That spends up to level 5 as well, so with 3 points in Stormbolt, that's still going to cause a huge amount of damage. But checking the top lane, we have had some damage taken onto the Chaos Knight just from the Iron Shell, or from the Darkseer, who did look like he was forced back a little bit ago, and he's currently the Darkseer. Look how much XP we have on the Darkseer here. Poor Tommy.
He hasn't gotten a single point of experience this entire game, which is not really that surprising. If you look at the tri-lane that Empire has, if he gets caught out, full spirits, this Wisp is now level 4. You're talking about a Tether Stun, Reality Rift, 1 good Chaos Bolt. It's now level 3, so there's a possibility for a 4-second stun. And you can't really live through that if you're a Darkseer, so.
Yeah, and do apologize. They did go on to Furion a little bit earlier down at the bottom as well. I mentioned that it was going to be a huge amount of damage, but he did get away alive, so I was just checking XP and could have missed the first kill, but I didn't. So I'm still winning you over at home. I can just feel the love.
At the very least, you're winning me over.
Yay!
Actually, you had me at hello, so basically there's no winning me over needed at this point. And we're talking about top lane too.
Top lane right now, we do get a stun from a, what was a level 5 CK, and they are going to pick up the first kill on the Darkseer just to make his life even more shit. I mean, Darkseer, he's getting no action at home, you know, he's getting no action at the clubs, and he's getting no action in the lane whatsoever. So he's a very ugly little purple thing that's very sad.
The poor guy didn't even get a single point of experience. He walked forward just long enough to think that he was going to get 1 creep worth of experience and then was swiftly sent back to his base by the tri-lane of Empire. So to be expected, you can't ever really assume that even sitting by your tower, when you're solo like that and you're so under level at this point in the game, you will get tower dived. Like, there's no way they're not going to chase you. CK has one of the highest base move speeds in the game, and you have a tether with that, so that's 20% increase to what he's already going to have. And in the mid game, I gotta say, Empire is going to look pretty strong, but We Has Asian doesn't really lose out that much. As long as the Darkseer doesn't die anymore, he's going to have to probably make his way to the jungle, which I believe that he's either doing right now or walking over. But at the very least, Cry has to find a way to recover at this point.
And we are going to have nighttime now, so we're going to have to see what the Night Stalker can do. But we really have to take note that at the top for Empire, the levels that they've got on Kotl, almost level 5, and also the Wisp is level 5, you know, halfway to level 6 as well. The supports are really out-leveling We Has Asian right now, so let's see what they can do, and it's even going to be quite hard just for this Night Stalker, who's going to hit level 7 soon, to be able to, you know, maybe lock down some of those supports, which would have been the more easier kills. But he's just going to go straight onto Scandal, the TA, chasing under Tier 1 tower, looking to get him under Tier 2, and that's a huge kill just for Night Stalker there, almost up to level 8 now, and has got some earned charges as well. So we'll have to see how dangerous he's going to be during the whole night. And I feel Furion is like, I don't really want to go down to my lane much anymore, so he's going to be looking to go on the Ancients.
Yeah, it's not really too much of a shock. The nice thing for the Nature's Prophet at the moment is that since Leshrac is pretty much committing all his time to middle, the one stun that they do have in the bottom lane, because before they didn't have Glimpse, you can actually time your Glimpse to get the Nature's Prophet back even after the teleport goes off. It's just a matter of, there's only one stun, so you can't stop the teleport. He can just go back to base. It's not going to be that way anymore, which is why he's being a little bit more hesitant about walking into the lane and showing himself. But Crit gets a kill on Scandal mid. That is super important. He is so far ahead at this point in terms of experience, almost 3 full levels ahead of Scandal. And again, that's mid lane pulling, and because of the fact that Scandal was bottle crowing, he got caught out with no regeneration whatsoever. His bottle was actually being sent to him in top lane, or bottom, excuse me, as well. We're going to see a fight.
Yep, sorry. We are down at the bottom. We do actually have Furion go down. There was a TP in, so they did manage to take out Disruptor. And sorry, I was trying to follow what you were talking about, and then you caught everything a little bit faster than me, Draskell. But that's because maybe you're just a little bit better. And we do have our power treads finished up, and we also are looking towards a BKB and a Magic Wand for Sven, but Leshrac is going to go down middle. But let's see what Night Stalker's going to do. He has got Iron Shell, but of course that's only going to be level 2, and he's looking to just back off, not able to kind of take down the refraction from the TA that will bottle up, and there comes Keeper of the Light, able to pick up the final kill. So currently Empire, despite it being nighttime, just kind of turn on the pressure, turn up the speed, and they're able to, you know, as you mentioned before, really open up the map and get involved where they want to. So already with the Wisp down bottom, and now the mid kill. And that was a good kill on Night Stalker, who is actually going to buy back. Here comes Crit, going to get put in a Sprout, eat his way out, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to chase here. He does have backup, and is he going to dive under the Tier 1? Thinking otherwise, and he's just going to head away. And currently at the top, the Tier 1 tower for We Has Asian, looking to go down pretty soon. There is a little bit of backup coming.
Yeah, bottom lane as well. Looks like Scandal with a haster and going to try to gank the Sven.
And here comes Scandal. He's going to be able to trap and slow. There is a stun available. Minus armor now up on the Sven. He's maybe looking to stun him under the tower. Hits 2 with the stun, and he will be able to run away with the movement speed. But no, there comes Wisp, and there comes a reality rift from the CK Taitu, and they will be able to take down what should be the hard carry, Sven. So Sven going down recently, also the Night Stalker going down recently from Crit, but he will be able to pick up a kill despite getting knocked away with blinds.
Oh, middle lane as well.
Oh, and in comes the TA, is going to block Crit, and he's going to be able to slow him. Not sure if he's going to be able to catch. Doesn't have a blink dagger this early on at 9 minutes, and Crit is just going to have to back away, and that's got to hurt. I'm sure he really needed that, wanted it. He doesn't have any earn charges, but couldn't get it. Great TP in. Empire really showing some dominance here.
Now this is just Empire being Empire. They have a pretty good laning phase, and then because of the fact that they just have so much mobility with the Wisp, with the Keeper of the Light, we're actually going to see a teleport up top. Looks like Crit might be getting picked off here.
Yeah, Crit looking to take that rune, but unfortunately he was under a ward, and he is just about going to get away. And there is potentially still no follow-up. Wisp doesn't have his ulti available to chase.
Yeah, they teleported towards bottom. I thought they were going to try to push the tower, but it looks like they were content with going to the top lane, letting Sox continue to get his farm up. He's picked up a Ring of Health, by the way, so I'm not sure if that means he's going for the quick Vanguard. Typically, it's a pretty much drum into BKB or armlet into BKB almost all the time. Those are the two main choices that a lot of CK players make. But picking up a Ring of Health this early, I'm not sure if it's just going to be casual or not. Making a Vanguard does make you that much harder to take down in the mid game against heroes like Night Stalker and Sven, who do a reasonable amount of physical damage. It's okay, but I feel as though there might have been a better investment for him. He could have just bought it though for the Darkseer and Iron Shell and the creeps being annoying.
Yeah, and look how confident Empire are feeling. The Nature's Prophet farming the We Has Asians jungle, and he's got some backup from the TA. They could probably make something happen here. Darkseer now up to level 5. Over to the right, we are going to get the Kotl in problems as he gets completely taken out very quickly there by the Sven and also the Night Stalker. So at least something going towards their carries, but I wonder, just take a look at what the net worth is currently looking like now. And actually, yeah, CK is on top of the net worth, but joined now by Sven. Actually, they're exactly the same. Each last hit will bounce in between. But where do you find the advantages and what We Has Asian need to do in this game? Because Empire have already shown that they want to open up the map and they want to add a lot of mobility so I fuck up all the camera work, because they're cunts. But We Has Asian, what are they looking to do?
Well, they want to probably stick together at some point. And speaking of being all over the place, Keeper of the Light actually manages to get a kill.
Yeah, and in comes CK, so the Shrek went down, and also Sven goes down as well, and Disruptor going to have to TP out of here. Unfortunately, almost a stun came in from the Tether, but he will make it all the way back to base. So Empire, 8-3. Crit on his Night Stalker, going to have to sit solo at his tower right now. And the top tower will most likely go down as well in favor of Empire. So any advantage points that you can see We Has Asian being able to use in this game?
We Has Asian has a very good team as long as they manage to stay together. We're going to see Wisp manage to get the kill on the top tower, so Empire assumes to take map control. We're going to see a teleportation. Actually, I thought that was Wisp TP, but it's actually just orange, so Unicorn actually comes back down to continue his farm. He's going for a straight BKB. Once he gets that, We Has Asian has this opportunity where they can try to take team fights because of the fact that CK isn't so much of a dominant force just yet. He's only level 10. He doesn't have level 2 Phantasm, and you also have that tremendous amount of plus armor coming out from the Sven. He only has 1 point into Warcry, though, which is a little bit interesting considering he's up against the TA.
And in mid, it looks like they want a game. We Has Asian trying to get onto Scandal, but in comes the Keeper of Light, actually misses the Illuminate, and we are going to have Nature's Prophet then drop to Crit, and unfortunately it is going to be daytime, so he's going to be slow, but backed up by the Disruptor, will be able to get out, but of course once again the CK and the Wisp come in, and that will be a quick kill on the Disruptor. There will be a TP out just off to the right, as I believe the Shrek gone out, but Crit not going to be so lucky in this situation, and that kill is going to go to the TA, and actually Scandal will now soon be picking up his Blink Dagger, and Sven looking to go on Wisp as quickly as possible. There was a TP just to the tower as well, and I don't think Sven's going to get on any target he wants to, and Empire, complete dominance here, really nice decision making, and they are pulling apart We Has Asian.
Now this is exactly the strategy that Empire had going into this game. It's pick heroes that try to avoid the full 5-on-5 confrontation until you get to a point where you're so overfarmed that you feel like you can take it no matter what. Because if you look at We Has Asian's team, 5-on-5, they have amazing team fight. They have the Disruptor, they have the Darkseer, Leshrac and Sven, no slouches themselves, and you have the Night Stalker to seal the deal, chase down heroes or stragglers, and make sure that you get every single kill possible. But the issue is they keep getting caught out of position. They're not sticking together. They're caught out right now. Empire is outnumbering them in their own woods, and we might see a potential dive.
Yeah, and here we go. The Disruptor going to get the worst of it. Pulled in, stunned, and then killed. Does drop a static, but unfortunately not going to help him. And Leshrac also going to go down. Couldn't finish off that sentence, by the way, because I forgot the name of the ability there, Jaskal. Feel free to help me out when you feel. And Empire just going to town. There's nothing really you can say about this apart from their momentum, how they're playing their heroes, and just what they're going to get out of this is going to be amazing. I don't see a way that We Has Asian are going to be able to come back in a big team fight, even though you did mention their team fight capabilities are great, but the items that they're going to be behind on, the amount that they're going to rely on Sven to get on the right target, and I don't believe Sven is that close to his BKB at all. No, he's only got the Ogre Club and then missing almost like 2,500, but.
Empire just, this is their forte. They managed to pick you apart. They had a better laning phase. Even though Scandal didn't get much done in the early game, they committed a lot to getting it done. They put the Leshrac over there. He wasn't getting the best experience gain ever. He's actually a level 5, and it's 15 minutes in. And in 5-on-5 engagements, again, We Has Asian, great team, but it doesn't matter if you get beaten to the punch every single time. Empire has out some aggressive warding. They're going to try to spot people out. It could be the Darkseer in the jungle, and there comes the TP.
Yeah, there comes the TP. They had a ward up on the camp, and Darkseer going to go down very, very quickly. And there's no room to breathe here for We Has Asian, and I don't know their way back into it. Even if they try to smoke up and get something going, I believe these team fights will go in the favor of Empire, and they're going to have to pick off. And you can see just how aggressive they can be now. The Chaos Knight able just to pick a fight with the Night Stalker, almost under the tier 2 tower. There comes the Never and the stun. And it's just how Furion gets involved as well and sprouts up the Disruptor, ready for the Chaos Knight to Reality Rift him back and get another kill. And they're not done yet, guys. They're going for more. The Shrek doesn't get slowed, but will get killed. And actually, I think that trap almost did hit him. Wasn't sure about that.
And this is one of the risks that you calculate when you allow somebody like Funnick to pick up a Wisp. You just have to assume his map awareness is so good. They have aggressive warding. They're going to see you every single time. We saw the We Has Asian actually sentryed that high ground after the gank came, so they knew it was there. It's just a matter of you gave away a kill for that. I mean, you're basically getting somebody killed. It ultimately pretty much got into a team fight position where you lose 3 or 4 heroes and you get nothing out of it. They're going to be pushing into tier 2. The glyph was already used, so this tower has no chance really of standing. Scandal's going for a BKB after his Blink Dagger as well, and mid looks like we might see a kill.
Yep, and the Nature's Prophet will be going down. But unfortunately, they're not really in a position to fight here, as Empire will most likely be able to clean this up. Let's see if they can. Sven really, really low. Disruptor, very nice ulti into that fight, but unfortunately not going to do much as they lose the Leshrac and the Sven. And it does look like the Disruptor will go down. The TA did drop off to crit on his Night Stalker just to the right-hand side, but there comes the Aegis, and he's going to be back up, and it is going to be a team wipe. A team wipe for the Aegis, and, well, Furion got back out and involved in the fight as well. So the tier 2 tower will go down, 24-5.
Yeah, things are definitely looking a little bit grim here for We Has Asian. The second tier tower middle drops as well. Yeah. A little bit grim.
Yeah, just, I think they're at a slight disadvantage going into the later part of the game.
Listen, we're trying not to be pessimists here,
49.
James. I'm just saying that We Has Asian picked a very strong lineup if they managed to ever group up and take a team fight, but that's really never what happened.
Well, here comes the pain train that is Empire. Darkseer going to drop. He's pretty good at getting down on his knees in this game, it seems. Sven, unfortunately, not able to really commit to the fight and get close, and it's only really the crit on the Night Stalker that's been able to tank up some damage. He's going to go down, and they're going to pull out Disruptor as well, and I'll take a look at the kills here. We can see that 7-1 on Keeper of the Light, 7-0 on the Wisp of Funnick. T2 finished that one 6-0, and this one's going to be called a GG, just over 18 minutes, and that's the kind of Dota I can cast.
Empire just a little bit too strong for We Has Asian. They gave him, though, A Wisp. That is the one hero. If I had to name any hero in the game that I wouldn't give Empire, it would be Wisp, just because there's so many things you can actually partner with it. It's so strong in the mid game, and if you don't think that you can stick together enough to make the Wisp not really do anything, because that's really the only counter to it. You stick together, you have heroes that can counter it, try to have some kind of a team fight after the Wisp TP comes in. They never ever did that. It was 2 and 3 heroes walking around the map, and when the CK gets free farm, and you have a Wisp who adds so much damage to the gank in itself, and you have a Nature's Prophet as well if you want to try to throw him into the mix, which he has been pretty active in the game, it's just too much to handle.
Yep, they weren't ready for it, and maybe they needed to make more of their first Knight with crit on the Night Stalker, and almost team up together and get some of those towers down and open up the map. But unfortunately, they weren't able to do so. So Empire then will be moving through in Group C in first place. Don't feel too bad for We Has Asian. Despite a little bit of a rough time that match, they will be going through in second place and will be coming out of the group. Isn't that right? Gods, who probably doesn't have his microphone enabled yet, but there you go.
Oh, see, he's joining us now, so that's good news.
Empire just being Empire.